looking at the future need, especially in terms of the population. I feel our biggest market in Sri Lanka is our next door neighbor. That may be the reason why our president of this society has decided to have two Hindi songs in the presence of our wonderful Indian partners to say that we are already there. We have almost 1.4 billion people living. It's a massive market. According to the statistics, 26.5 million newborns will be there in India next year, or year 2011. 2012, 26.5. 2013, they're anticipating over 27 million newborns, new babies will be born in our next door. The growth story, the demand, what we have next door, it's more than the population of Sri Lanka. Every year, there are new babies available in our next door. What does it mean? How do we service them? How do they feed them? How do we meet with their demand? So when you look at all that requirement within the country, we need to be very creatively position ourselves into be the big brother who is next to us to make sure that we play the right pivotal role. From the government point of view, we need to make sure the chambers, the industry captains, the chairmen of respective various institutes, they bring together the knowledge, the information what they have, consult with the institutes of the government to make sure when the vision of the government is put in place, the adequate information is there for us to make sure we find the right pathway. From the government point of view, the policy makers are not there to interfere or to design the right way or right path for the respective disciplines. That's not going to work. This is why we strongly believe, computer society, the association, the role that they have played since 1976, it's a long journey, 29th conference, the amount of assistance given to the people, knowledge shared amongst the people, it was tremendous. So if we can support each and every discipline with the respective heads of the fields, then we can make sure every time the state is taking decisions, the government is taking decisions, we communicate with the people to get to know the right balance of it. So if you look at the responsibility the association is, all the associations, not only your association, all the national associations are having, we want to make sure that we consult those professionals in the field, that they give us with the right information for us to take the policy decisions properly. Going back to His Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa, when he articulated the Mahinda Chintane, he made sure that even though we talk about ICT-enabled society, how do we find a balance? Now we're talking about developing our port, developing our airport. Then if we want to be the head of the commercial, want to make Sri Lanka as a commercial hub or trade center, it's not going to happen just because we feel, Sri Lanka will be the Asian hub of this, Asian hub of that. These are all going to restrict into just words. It's not going to be easy. But when you have a leader who's got a vision, it is our responsibility, not only the members of the parliament, ministers, cabinet, the responsibility will come from the society who brings the pressure from the need of the respective disciplines. So I think when you look at the bigger picture. We are at the right place, at the right position. Things are changing so rapidly. The demand is changing. As a result of the demand, it is what we are fighting with the ICT mainly, I believe, is the speed. Every day, the new technology in your field is coming out, is fighting with the speed. We are talking about 2G, then it was 3G, GPRS, now it's 3G to 4G. What are they talking about? They're talking about giving you more wider broadband with more contents, with a faster, quicker time, with more wider information bandwidth and so forth. How do they design? Why do they design this? When all the research personnel of your various institutes or organizations, companies, they make sure there is a demand, there is a niche market, or there are people who will be in a position to afford to buy that at this price. So they go and invest into that. They do their R&D, and they make sure they come out with the innovative idea, innovative products, and then they expand. So when the technology is there, the technology will be subject to the science. The science will decide the roadmap of the growth story of our future. The scientists will innovate, and then it comes with the technology. Technology will follow with the innovative ideas. When the technology, science, and both put together, then comes the communication revolution, what we are in now. The revolution, what we are going through now, is ICT, where every day, as Martin yet presented, the products that we have seen on his presentation, it has changed so drastically. Today with the tablets in the marketplace, everything is in a small piece of paper, some slate in front of you. We have never thought 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ago what we are going through now. One will have to be very carefully look at it. The technology every time designs something based on their mass market, especially for a country like ours, with 19 million people, with a tiny place in the Asian region, the local demand versus the rest of the world. We can't develop our economy, we can't develop our country in isolation within our country. We have to be a vibrant player in the region, then we have to be a global player, if we are to be a vibrant player. If you look at the iPad, I think when Mr. Devapriya was presenting it, the iPad. Today iPad is manufactured, it's Apple, but if you go into that, 119 manufacturers. The real income out of the iPad is less than 17% to US. It goes on to various countries, small microchip, maybe not from China, from Malaysia, Indonesia, you name it. So what does it mean? The latest small product, PDA, now it's into tablet. It's got a beautiful representation of over 27 countries manufacturing this tiny, economical, practical device. So, if we are to be a strong player in the region, we have to make sure our ICT-enabled society brings up, and they've been given enough knowledge to make sure that we can compete with our neighbors. We're not going to go on sending people to Middle East for laborers or labor market. If you have value addition for our products in Sri Lanka, then as well as we have trained, skilled people or workforce. And trained, skilled workforce, we need to see most of them are ICT or IT enabled. If you enhance the bottom training level or the bottom level of the basics into ICT, then obviously we are not going to sit and wait. I mean, this wave came in the ICT about 25 years ago, and we remember people used to go into a room and going through with their programming, the programmers doing programs, exporting or sending in via M1 lines or whatever you call through normal